This is Makeda, aka Tiffany Makeda Francisco. This segment is about where I've been and where I'm going and what I'm doing now. I am originally from Bridgeton, New Jersey, a small little town on the south side. Not too far from Jersey Shore, but Snooki does not represent me. But anyway, I'm a country girl, and when I graduated from Bridgeton High School, but that's because my family had moved out of Town. And Town, when we went to high school, we went to Cumberland Regional, so that's where it started. My track days, my track and field, and singing in plays, and everything started with Miss Davis and Mr. Gould, and just some wonderful, wonderful teachers who influenced my life. Even though I was like this wild and out troubled teen at the time, they saw something that I really couldn't see at the time. But I was blessed to have music as an outlet. And so when we went to Bridgeton High, Mr. Gould just really honed in, and he just put me in every play and made me lead every concert that he possibly could. I developed a love for the arts, and then I was going to Rutgers. I went to Rutgers University starting as a sophomore. I earned scholarships because of Mr. Pruitt, and so every summer I was in Rutgers learning about performing arts and getting college credits, the whole nine. It really was a wonderful balance for me. I think because if I had been left alone in those summers, I probably really would have gotten into a lot more trouble. But I'm so grateful for the music. I'm so grateful for the multicultural lessons that I learned. My roommate was from Japan. Her name was Hiromi, and I developed such a love for Japan at that time, and I had no idea that later in life that's where a wonderful women's ministry would develop for me. So I've done a lot. I've been blessed to travel the world with wonderful singers. And when I got to California after leaving Pennsylvania, I was with Eric Benet, I was with Tina Marie, I did some stuff with Earth, Wind & Fire, and Ziggy Marley, and oh my God, Jeffrey Osborne. There's so many wonderful people that has blessed my life, and the things that I did not think I would do as a teenager. Oh my God, God opened up the sea and blessed me to do things far beyond what I thought I would be capable of doing. And so I'm grateful for every step, for the people that blessed my life. Once I left New Jersey and went to Pennsylvania, I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And when I went to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, believe it or not, I had just been released from a suicide attempt. And I just thought life was just over for me. And I met a wonderful gentleman who everyone called Brother Dave. And he was a state representative from South Philadelphia. And he worked at the Rotundo Dome in Harrisburg. And he saw something. He didn't even know I could sing at the time. He just saw something. And he said, "Young lady, I believe in you, and I'm going to fight for you." And I said, "Well, what are you fighting for?" He said, "You're a queen and you don't even know it. You have no idea." And I was like, "You're right. I don't have no idea about that." And so he gave me a job. He let me answer phones and take, schedule appointments for him. And as I began to do that, he would do fundraisers. And one day, a friend of mine that actually was one of his executive assistants, she told him I could sing. And so he just walks up and says, "My niece is going to sing for me at this fundraiser." And I began to sing for him. And I sang an Anita Baker song. a sweet love. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Brother Dave just falls up against the wall, and he's just blown away, and he tells me, now you have to sing at every fundraiser that I have. And the blessing was the guys that were playing in the band, they were called the Stevenson twins, who were amazing. And they were like, okay, you're the voice we need for, you know, for us playing in the band, and we would love to work with you. So everything just began to snowball from there for me in Harrisburg. I began doing a lot of the fundraisers. I was blessed to even sing at the 50th birthday of the state secretary. It was her 50th birthday party. I did that, and we did that in this great big hotel and everything in Philadelphia. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. And after that, I fell in love with the love of my life in Harrisburg, and I gave birth to two of the most amazing children. And then that didn't work. So after that didn't work out, I went through a roller coaster ride, young love. Mind you, I was only 18, 19 years old. And then my first child was born at 22. My second child was born at 24. And I just began to tour. I began to just travel. What happened was I was singing at a club called the St. Moritz. And I'm going to tell you a secret, because I used to go to Harrisburg when I was like 15, 16, and I was modeling in a group called Salve Couture. And what happened was I would sing during these fashion shows. So the owner of the club let me come in. I was only 18. I had no business there. And at 19, I was singing with the Stevenson twins that I was telling you about earlier. And after I did this performance with the Stevenson twins at St. Moritz, Jean Carn came in to perform. So they asked me to be the opening act for her. So I opened up for Jean Carn and Jerry Butler. Oh my freaking gosh, I flipped out. I was so excited, and she just was such a wonderful, wonderful influence for me. I love Jean Carn and Phyllis Hyman like nobody's business. These women were so unique in their voice, in their tones, and where their voices could go. And I wanted that. And so to meet her was just incredible. And then they asked me again to open up for Ray Gillen and Brown when they came to the St. Moritz. And there I got the bug, because Harry Ray asked me to go on the road with them, just on a short tour, and I caught it. I knew that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It was so amazing, going places, meeting people from all walks of life, singing amazing music, and just meeting everyone that I had admired since I was a child, even though I was still a child technically. But it changed me. It really brought about a change for me, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity and that these people took me under their wings. Then we're going to fast forward, because I left there. And after I left Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I came to California because I wanted the bigger thing. I wanted to do more than I had already done, and I wanted to see if there was more than I had already done. And there was. Oh my gosh, what happened once I got to California. Just amazing people came into my life. And once again, I did that same old start from the ground up. I started to find little clubs in the Inland Empire. It was Shelley's and the Matrix and all these little spots around about town that are now gone. But I'm so glad, because I got to sing with Artist Sax, and I got to sing with Rare Jams and the Rainbow Tribe. All these different bands blessed me, because people would see me. And can't forget about the Jazz Junkies, my babies. And because they gave me really my first jobs out here was the Jazz Junkies. And when people got to see me, I got jobs. And then I more jobs. And then one day a guy said, yo, they're holding auditions in Hollywood for Eric Benet, and I think you should go, because I know they're going to give it to you. And his name was Kenny Williams. He just happened to be the sound guy at the club that I was singing at. And Kenny said, go. And I went, and I was blessed to get the job. And I was with Eric for 4 amazing years, and it was just amazing what happened to meet Luther Vandross and Charlie Wilson, and I mean, just I can't even name everybody. It opened up so many amazing doors for me. And then I began to work with all these different people, Jeff Larber and Everett Hart and Dave Coz, and because Eric was neo soul / jazz, which really is my favorite. I have a love for jazz music, being an East Coast girl, that is. But then I was introduced to the incomparable, amazing Tina Marie. Whoa, back in, I think that was 2003. I have loved her forever. I had a belt named Lady T. Back in the day, we had these little belts and you could put your name on your earring or on your belt buckle, and I put mine Lady T. And to one day meet her was not even in the equation for me. Not only did I meet her, I worked with her for 5.5 amazing years. She became my sister. She was in my wedding. She was amazing. And I love her right now, this very second. I miss her tremendously because I never in a million years thought that I would be sitting here without her right now. Not this soon, but she has transitioned, and I will forever love her, forever remember our talks, the times we prayed together, the times we ate together, we traveled together, vacationed together, the way she spoiled my children when I told her not to. I just love her. She was more than just an artist for me. I loved Christine, oh well, it was Mary Christine Brockett, and she was an amazing individual, and no one has impacted my life or my career the way she has. And that's what I was doing up until 2009 when I got pregnant with the last joy of my life, my little daughter, Naila, who was a surprise. And that's when I was without Tina for that year. I had to stop working. My little mini skirts didn't look too good, singing square biz with that big belly, so I had to sit down. And Tina and I used to talk about writing poetry, writing books, writing our life story, and what we desire to do for women and children. I've always been doing it. I would do things with women and children on the side. When we weren't touring, I would go internationally and do different things with women. I love to give women a voice. And it's the voice that we give is not a loud voice. We don't have to demand what we're capable of doing. If you know something, you don't have to shout it out. What you do is you love. You learn how to love. Love will conquer everything. And it's never what you do, it's how you do it. And so giving a woman a voice in a foreign country like Japan has been a blessing for me because it's been without offense, to where men are supportive of what I have been doing, and I call it a ministry, in my ministry of helping women have a voice, and what I call Esther's Chamber. And I got that vision because I read the book of Esther and how Esther became queen. But the blessing for me was the process of how she became queen. There was a chamber of women, and in this chamber the women took care of one another. They made sure one another were beautiful. They made sure one another's hair was amazing. That they looked the best, they smelled the best, that they healed, they talked to one another, they were a support system. And that's what I got this vision, Esther's Chamber, from. That I think women should really go back to those days where we want the best for one another, that we address the brokenness, the losses, and anything that can hinder you from being your best. We talk about it, we deal with it, and then we throw it away. And we get rid of the drama. We don't do female drama up in Esther's chamber. We get rid of it and we move on. We heal and we're productive, and we go on to the next sister that we can grab her hand and pull her up out of the mess and get her beautiful, give her ashes, take her ashes and throw them away and give her beauty for ashes, and give her joy for her mourning. And that's really basically what Esther's chamber is about. Right now I'm completing a book called My Precious Oil. And My Precious Oil is really about taking my journey. And I understand now at 41 that my journey was not even for me. It was to be able to be a blessing and help someone else. So I'm really glad that I had my journey, because now I'm writing about it. And I can help other sisters understand that all you have to do is come into that place of alignment. If you really want to heal, if you really want to be delivered, you can be. And you will be. But you have to do it, and you have to go through the process. And a lot of times we don't want to deal with the process. A lot of times people want to numb the process. But instead of realizing if you go through the process, all of the numbing is unnecessary, because you get through it and you get over it and you walk over to the other side so much quicker than being on drugs and alcohol or a sex addict for 20 and 30 years. So that's what Esther's Chamber is about, breaking the cycle. And that's what my book is about, ending generational curses that have plagued the women in my family, and just giving us a voice. So I'm praying that all of my girls come back to life, take your rightful position and give birth. We're birthers. We birth life. Life comes out of us not just through a child. Life comes out of us by the words we speak, by the actions that we take, by the moves that we make. We give birth. So I'm praying now that we can give birth back to the positive and get rid of the mess that we've been carrying so long. So really, that's what Esther's Chamber is about. That's what My Precious Oil is about. And that's what Makeda is about. So I hope I've given you enough info to know that you can make it. Keep going. And there's so much more to see and do on the other side of your pain. Peace and blessings. Makeda. But Mary Jane, you think nobody knows your pain.